Hey guys, Jack Frags here, bringing you another weapon review, and today I'm going over the Scar H. Now this is a weapon that I rarely used pre-patch, but having spent a lot of time in game with it over the last few days or so, I would say that it's probably my new favourite weapon in Battlefield 3. So if I play Engineer, I would normally either take the M4A1, the G36C or the AKS-74U, because I like the way they feel and they're all pretty well balanced all around weapons. However, now I'm always reaching for the Scar H first, and I'm going to explain why in this video. So we will start off with the basic stats of the weapon. The Scar H has a maximum damage of 30 and a minimum damage of 20, making it the most powerful engineer specific gun. It has a magazine capacity of 20 rounds and reloads in 2.85 seconds with no bullets remaining, and 2.25 seconds if you have a round in the chamber. It has a rate of fire of 600 rounds per minute, making it the slowest firing engineer specific weapon. The Scar H has a vertical recoil of 0.5 and left and right recoil of 0.2. So what does all this mean in terms of actual gameplay and how you can use this weapon to your advantage in game? Well, let's start with the rate of fire and the recoil on this weapon. So as you've just seen, the recoil is very balanced, so it goes as far left as it does right, making it very easy to control. And when you combine this with the incredibly slow rate of fire, the recoil is practically non-existent if you add a bit of downward pull to your aim. So when you put this into practice in game, it means that the Scar H is incredibly good at picking people off who are at medium to long range distance from you. You can go full auto at medium range and the recoil is very manageable, and if you want to pick people off at long range, just burst instead, counter the recoil a little bit, and you'll be headshotting people with ease. Also, because of the insane maximum and minimum damage that this weapon has, you'll be killing people far away from you in 5 to 6 shots rather than 9 to 10, which you're probably used to. One of the major drawbacks of this weapon, however, is glaringly obvious in the fact that it only has a 20 round magazine. Pretty scary when you guys are probably so used to using weapons with 30 rounds or more, right? Well, you can overcome this negative aspect of the Scar H by adapting your playstyle and changing things up whilst you're in game. So with a weapon like the M4A1, you have 30 bullets, which means that you can peek out and try to pick multiple people off before you have to reload again. So you can probably run around a bit more and stay exposed for a little longer than you would if you were using the Scar H, because you've got 10 more bullets to work with. However, when using the Scar H, if you play smart and abuse the damage that the weapon puts out, you can get away with it. When you're using this weapon, you always need to be mindful about that 20 round magazine. And before you think about shooting at someone, you should think about reloading instead. You should think, am I safe to reload here? Can I get rushed if I reload now? And if you plan just for a split second what you're doing before you open fire, you're going to survive and you're going to continue shooting people at those medium to long ranges. The Scar H is a very situational weapon, and I find it's great for those situations where you've got a nice bit of cover behind you. You know that you can't get flanked because of your teammates or because of the location that you're in, and you're just peeking out, picking people off that are coming towards you or looking for cover. You duck down, you reload, and you go again, or you move closer to your objective. In that sort of situation, I can't think of a better engineer specific weapon than the Scar H. Another drawback which you have to work around when using this weapon is the rate of fire in close quarters. But at 600 rounds per minute, this weapon is not going to stand a chance at close range against, say, an M16A3 or an AEK. It's just not going to happen. If you go 1v1 against someone close range using those high rate of fire weapons and you shoot at the same time at each other's body, the other guy will beat you 9 times out of 10. So there are two ways in which you can try and improve your chances in a situation like that. Number one, of course, is aim for the head in close range, because if you get that initial headshot, the guy will go down before you. So if you are in a close range situation using this gun, then be ready for people at head height instead of just spraying and going for the body shots, because it will make a difference. Go around corners aiming rather than running around mindlessly. The other way you can offset the poor rate of fire is by trying to avoid close range engagements altogether. I know that sounds sort of stupid because you'll always have to shoot people at close range in Battlefield 3, but try and think of it like this. When you're doing something in game and when you need to get somewhere, try and go around things rather than in between them, because that's where this weapon will fail. So as an example, on this canals map that you can see here, I would never go into the middle area, so where all the containers are. It's far too close range, I can get flanked from every direction, and I would probably lose the majority of the firefights. So what I do instead is try and use the outer circle of the map and use that to move around in and pick people off. So I'm using the strengths of the Scar H but avoiding the weaknesses as much as I possibly can. So what about attachments for this weapon? Personally, I would recommend either taking the heavy barrel or the heavy barrel and foregrip combination. Both of these feel pretty nice on the Scar H. If you really need to get into close range when using this weapon, then the laser sight is a pretty good pickup because the hipfire on this baby is actually really good. That pretty much wraps everything up for this video, guys. Give the Scar H a try. You might love it, you might hate it. Either way, you can always say that you've been there and you've done that. So rate the video if you liked it, guys, and I will see you in the next one.